everyone, and welcome to Moonride. This is Dave Johnson, channeling Man in the Moon. So, a la Trump, first of all, I hope everybody will just take a victory lap, jump up and down and say yay, because finally he's facing some consequences of his actions. You might notice throughout the United States of America, many things have shifted towards a more centrist or left kind of political experience. So jump up and down, notice victories in Wisconsin and elsewhere. Notice how many students are voting. The young people seem to be much more engaged. These are all really, really good signs for the future. So give yourself some credit for helping to make that happen. I am going to look today at whether Trump will be able to keep himself quiet. Lena Rodriguez and I were talking about this. He's facing some pretty serious charges or consequences, because you're not supposed to talk about the judge. You're certainly not supposed to talk about the judge's daughter, and that's just what Junior has done. Some serious criminal activity. Even mafia dons don't cross that line. It's some serious stuff. So Trump's gonna have to keep quiet, and I don't know if he could do it. Let's see. So one thing that I'm seeing is light. So imagine that Trump's speaking, and it's almost like a ray of light, but it comes around in a circle and bam, hits him in the back. So notice this kind of, it's a flip side of this narcissistic personality is that there are consequences. So up until now, Trump has never had to keep his mouth shut, and that's always been his MO. He seems very confident. He can say crazy things. He can do anything without consequence, and that appears as strength. But here I'm seeing that it's now he's in the opposite position. He can't control himself. The lawyers are telling him, you got to stop this. You got to keep quiet. They're telling him you could go to jail if you don't. And imagine, smoke coming out of Trump's ears. The idea that people can talk about him and he can't respond, and that he can't go into the street and sort of change things, is really upsetting him. There seems like there could be a gag order, because I'm seeing Trump gagged, and I'm seeing a very serious judge talking to him and saying, look, you and your lawyer better knock it off, or else. It's really just kind of awesome to see. Trump is not the most powerful person in the room anymore. This is important, because it's making him angry and frustrated. He's used to dominating everybody in the room. Let's see. What else about Donald? So imagine somebody at tennis court and you hit the ball, but once you hit the ball over the net, there's no one there. Then he's just frustrated. So will Trump go to jail? Will they imprison him? I see him in a jail cell, but he gets out. I don't think that he will go. I think that's a threat, and that he will avoid it. Will Trump go under house arrest? Yes. He seems like he's stuck at Mar-a-lago, and the judge seems to be ordering him to stay home and not talk about it. This will affect the campaign. Yeah, it might be that he isn't allowed to leave his house. This will be extremely difficult for him, because he can't hit the campaign trail. He can't necessarily talk about it on Fox News. It's like he has a ball and chain on his ankle. Is he going to have to wear an ankle monitor? No, it's not quite that bad. But look, those guys from the Secret Service, they are watching him like a hawk. It's not like they're protecting him. They're monitoring him. They have been contacted by various agencies saying, make sure he doesn't give, the nuclear codes to foreign nations for sale, to make sure he doesn't do that. So they have him, they're watching him at all times. It's just really upsetting him. It's pissing him off. Yeah, I see a Secret Service agent like walking up to him and his office and taking him by the neck and throwing him in the chair and saying, sit down and shut up. You're not in control. Yeah, Trump can't fire them. He doesn't have the power to do that. And the Secret Service has a vested interest. They were involved somehow on January 6th. They don't want people looking further. They don't want more scrutiny. So they really want him to stop talking and performing. The judge is giving them a very strict dressing down. That is Trump and his lawyers. He does not appreciate the lawyer talking back. It might even be that he threatens the lawyer with contempt. There's something very satisfying about this, that these people who have total power, have never had anybody say no to them, are now being told, look, this is how justice works. This is a courtroom. You are not in charge. You don't get to decide the outcome here. His antics are not impressing the jury. And again, I'm kind of concerned about that one holdout juror. They're kind of going, wow, he is really gross. They're still not opposed to Trump. They're still being influenced by family members when they go home. But this is why I think it might not evolve to a felony. It might remain a misdemeanor. But don't underestimate that. The fact that Trump's limited, it's very, very, I think that it's actually going to cause him medical problems. I'm seeing his stress levels are so high that he's in a hospital room. Again, he's trying to yell at everybody, and the nurses aren't having it. They're like, keep quiet. You're the patient. And he just, a woman telling him what to do is just sending him into orbit. He can't have the food that he wants. He's complaining, oh, I want some new nurses. And there's like, no, you don't get a new nurse. Yeah, this is the other thing that will limit his campaign. He looks like he's having some fairly serious medical problems, not enough to kill him, but they're pretty serious. And they seem to have to do with his heart or hypertension or something like that. They are not good for anybody running for president. So again, will he be able to keep his mouth shut? Yeah, he's limited to Mar-a-Lago and maybe Trump Tower. He's trying to get others to do his work for him, but they're not any good at it. They don't want to do it. They don't want to be implicated. There's more to this case than just the consequences. There's more to this case than just the fact that he, might be, found guilty. There's much, much more to this. The process of limiting him is causing him serious emotional difficulties, and it's meaning that he cannot campaign. So he can try, but even Fox News is a little bit like, I don't know how good this is for us. We're already in a lot of trouble. This is very important. It's a cultural shift in the society where, organizations like Fox News and Trump are being said no. They're being told no. Yeah, I get a sort of divine justice. It's not just the legal stuff. It is the whole enchilada. All of that stress and limitation is affecting him so that he cannot be the guy that he was in 2015. So don't underestimate what's going on here. It is more valuable whether or not he's convicted of anything. And obviously we want him to be convicted of something. I'm getting, and I'm still getting, that it will be a misdemeanor, not necessarily a felony, because I think they have to be combined. It has to be a misdemeanor with an actual act of crime, and yeah, a little bit dicey. But still, it doesn't matter as much as the fact that he's going through this process of being told to be quiet and he can't do it. And the jury's noticing that. They're not sympathetic. There's one sympathetic juror, but they're kind of like, well, he is gross, you know. That juror, by the way, is getting pressure from others. They're getting pressure from family members, Trump supporters. They're getting pressured because their social milieu is a little bit Trumpian, maybe a lot Trumpian. So that is one key point here. But they're not as sympathetic to Trump once they see his behaviors. And I do believe they're just gonna kind of split the difference and go, well, misdemeanor, you know, he's still punished, but it's not a felony. And that's kind of what they can get away with. Yeah, but it won't be good for Trump. Even the misdemeanors, whether it's a misdemeanor or not, he is blowing his absolute stack, and it is going to cause medical problems. I don't think that he will be put in jail, but I do think he will be stuck in places like Mar-a-Lago or the Trump Tower and unable to respond, which means that it's going to cause more medical problems. This is just going to build up more stress. He's going to eat more hamburgers. It's going to make him angry. People aren't returning his calls. His kids aren't willing to do the dirty work. Kellyanne Conway gets a message for him. She's just like, oh, I'll read that one later. She doesn't want to be in trouble either. All of those around Trump are starting to take some serious defensive maneuvers. They may say things that support Trump, but in the background, they are trying to cover themselves and make sure nobody's getting, no information is showing, if you will. There's nothing but difficulty lying ahead of this man, and he is aware of it. Despite his bluster, he's aware of it. He's never, ever had somebody hold him to account in this particular way, in a way that matters. That is, he's lost before, but it didn't really make a difference. You know, he didn't personally have to go to, you know, get fingerprinted. He wasn't limited in his speech in any of those cases. This is really more significant than it might appear. And it's worrying him. He's like, well, this is bad. Wait till next year when I have to deal with the other cases. It's like a sort of foreboding that is causing him to have, again, medical problems. Yeah, there are some serious problems with his heart. Life-threatening, I'm going to say. Ultimately, I don't think he's going to die soon, but there's some life-threatening things that are going on for him. Okay, I'm told that's all. Thanks so much for watching. If you like, take a look at my website. I do various things like channel and talk to those who've passed. Take a look at my website, see if any of that's for you, and feel free to send me a question. Thanks so much for watching.